I'm Pastor David McAbee with Everybody's Tabernacle. I'm known as Pastor David here on campus. The church is located on our 8-acre campus, and I serve the people more in their spiritual need. I can relate back to being introduced to the homeless person and having all their heavy-weighted things of life and getting to know them, getting to share with them and see them change dramatically from that person to this person who's now succeeding and living life again. And that's my main goal. We've always had a heart for people because we grew up with a number of siblings, and in that community where we lived, it was a poor community before we moved to Clearwater, and we needed to help each other out, so that's sort of instilled in us to do that, to help our fellow man. So when we came to this church for the first time, we realized that it was the type of church that best represented us, and it has helped us in so many ways. So we just pass that on to those around us. The church is an amazing thing. It's the program in the church on Sunday mornings is very lively, it's very inviting, it's very warm. That's a word that's used oftentimes to describe the church. It's a warm church, it's a welcoming church. And as for myself, that's the message I try to get across to the people, that we're just people, we're brothers and sisters, and we need each other. And the church is there to supply the spiritual need of the people. I feel it's important that people realize that there's a spiritual aspect to their life, not just a physical. And if that spiritual aspect, that spiritual part of them is not included in the whole person, then something is missing. And that's what I find is missing. And we're governed by a deep thing called love for people. It's instructed in our biblical readings and so forth that we are to help one another. We had the greatest example of a person who walked the streets 2,000 years ago that set that course for the rest of us to follow, to do good, to reach out to the homeless, to reach out to those who are cast out, who are lost. And that's our goal, that's our main goal, is to make people whole again, to help them see the world in a different way than they're living in a hopeless situation, see that they can succeed, that the power is there for them to make right decisions and so forth. I would say this about people coming into the program: not everyone shares our particular faith, but I believe that everybody is connected to God, whether it's through nature. God represents himself through nature, through the stars, through everyday life. He's all around us. We don't always choose, all of us, that one particular path. Paths may be different, but that's how we approach. We give people freedom to be themselves, to have their beliefs, their standards that they live by, and just to make conversation that brings God to the forefront, because we all need him, whether we look to him through nature or different aspects. That's why we're here, to serve that purpose, to bring people to God's wonderful love.